Hello there, and welcome back to another Star Wars What If reaction. Today we're reacting to What If Obi Wan Saved Anakin and Mustafar, created by Fantasy Folklore. Be sure to check him out, the links in the description, and I cannot wait to see what he's coming up for this Star Wars What If. Let's jump right in.
What if Obi Wan saved
Okay,
Anakin
let's
on
do
Mustafar?
it.
Before we begin, guys, please subscribe.
Yeah.
We really want to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, heard him. Do it.
And we'll be doing a NeoPixel Saber giveaway for the milestone from Fantasy Sabers.
No.
And who knows, maybe we'll do a face reveal. Let's start the story after Anakin
Wait, just a thing. Hasn't bro already done a face reveal? Because I swear I've seen his face in like posts where he's like been advertising his stuff. But either way, let's get into the what if. Alright. Let's
Sabers. And who knows, maybe we'll do a face reveal. Let's start the story after Anakin was chopped down by Kenobi. He lays there on the fire banks, unable to move without his limbs, as Obi-Wan stands over him, his heart heavy and full of pain, because of what he had to do to his apprentice. He could see the lava was etching up the bank, almost reaching Anakin.
Bro, like, because since Obi-Wan is gonna save him, please get him away from the lava, like, now.
In his mind, his apprentice was dead, and he knew the lava would consume him. But the moment before it reached him, Kenobi sent a blast.
Okay, good, because if he's not gonna let Anakin burn, Anakin is gonna be way less hurt, you know?
Force, pushing the lava back, and pulled Anakin up the bank away from danger. He couldn't let Anakin die here. He had to save him from the dark side.
Okay.
It was his duty as his master and friend.
Yeah.
He carries him back to the ship, screaming in pain, and places him next to Padme, who was coming in and out of consciousness, but managed to see her husband's face, which told her Obi-Wan hadn't killed him like he planned.
That's cool.
He lands on Polis
So Padme's not gonna die of heartbreak then.
and takes them both out on stretchers
Love
towards
this.
the medical facilities, each in separate bays. Padme had entered labor, whilst Anakin was undergoing intensive surgeries, getting replacement Durasteel limbs inserted to replace those Kenobi had just destroyed.
Durasteel, so he's actually getting good limbs then.
Whilst Obi-Wan watches his apprentice, with a veil of sadness over him, Yoda walks in and asks Kenobi what he's doing, that he was tasked to kill Anakin, not save him. But Kenobi told Yoda that he couldn't do it, that there's still a chance to save him.
Yeah.
But Yoda orders Obi-Wan to move aside, so he can stop the medical droids.
Nah, Yoda though, Yoda man, you gotta see. You're good, I love you, but you gotta see that Obi-Wan is right.
And let Anakin die from his injuries. This just shows how lost Yoda was, abandoning the Jedi Code so blatantly after his failure to beat Palpatine.
Yeah.
But Obi-Wan says this can't happen, that Anakin is his brother, and Kenobi stands his ground. Yoda realizes Kenobi's resolve is strong, and lets the medical droids restore Anakin. Meanwhile, Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia, and in this timeline, doesn't die from sadness, since she knows Anakin is safe and with them, and has hope that he can be saved from himself. The next day, Anakin is kept in the holding jail, whilst Organa, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Padme discuss what to do next. They know Padme must go into hiding, because the Emperor will no doubt want her children for himself, and decides to go to Alderaan with Bail Organa, and Yoda will accompany them for protection. Meanwhile, they decide
I like that, because I hate the fact that Yoda went into exile.
What to do with Anakin, and Obi-Wan concludes that he's Anakin's responsibility, since he saved him, and he's determined to redeem Anakin, and bring him back from the dark side. And they will go in solitude to Tatooine, and will only return to the galaxy when he is successful.
I like that.
Everyone agrees, and they go their separate ways. Kenobi takes...
I feel like maybe Yoda protecting Padme and Bail too is kind of like risky, considering he's very, you know, noticeable in the crowd. Well, not really, because he's small, but you know, no one looks like him. He's a little green frog.
Anakin to one of the caves on the outskirts of Mos Eisley. Anakin is kept in confinement, with his Durasteel hands removed, and locked inside his own prison. He had a window to get sunlight from the outside world, but his cell door is a one-way glass, so Kenobi can see in, but Anakin cannot see out. During their time on Tatooine, Obi-Wan got hit hard with depression. Everything had gone wrong in his life, with the culmination being the fall of Anakin to the darkness,
come on, Obi-Wan.
and the fact he was forced to dismember and almost kill him. He talks to Anakin every day about this. He can see his hot fiery Sith eyes, and will not leave Tatooine until he sees his ocean blue ones have returned. Kenobi starts by sharing his own suffering to Anakin, showing off his own pain to Anakin with his turn to the dark side, urging Anakin to confront how his choices have impacted others. He attempts to mirror his losses, drawing parallels between their losses such as Qui-Gon's death, Anakin's mother, Satine's death, encouraging Anakin to recognize that revenge only deepens the pain rather than healing it. He asks Anakin if this is what he wanted, to become the very thing he swore to destroy. They talk a bit on Padme's values, her dedication to peace, democracy, and compassion, and whether he could face his wife now, when his actions directly contradict this. Kenobi exposes the Sith's lies, dissecting Palpatine's manipulations, and how Anakin's fear and anger were exploits for Palpatine's gain, giving him false promises of power and control. Anakin not being able to talk to Obi Wan forced him to confront everything he was saying. This went on for weeks, and every day Kenobi confronted Anakin with a different topic.
This is a good strategy. He's like, I guess, refurbishing Anakin's brain.
Talks to him about his children, who are alive and well now, across the galaxy, and questions Anakin to think about the legacy he's leaving for Luke and Leia. The responsibility he had for them shouldn't be one of darkness, but light and compassion. He tells Anakin to reflect on the consequences of his choices, but that there is also a path to the light, to confront his guilt and forgive himself, something that Obi-Wan is also having to do for letting Anakin turn. At this point, months have passed. Obi-Wan slowly chipping away at the darkness inside of Anakin. He could feel it reducing. Anakin's fear had left him, and only anger remained. But after listening to Kenobi's opinions and point of view, he started to understand why he did what he had to do. It started to click in his mind that because Padme and his children survived without any assistance, that his dreams were wrong. She was not in danger, and he did not need the dark side. One day, Obi-Wan arrives at Anakin's cell, and his eyes no longer have the yellow tinge of a Sith, and are a deep blue of the man he once was. Kenobi talks to him of redemption, that it's never too late to change, and that forgiveness can be earned. He expresses how he's willing to stand by Anakin's side, even after everything. Kenobi goes in to hug Anakin, who was now shedding tears, but Kenobi knew he had returned to them. Mid-hug, they feel another presence around the room join them. The Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, who told Anakin that he can still complete his journey as the Chosen One, that he must defeat the Emperor and reform the Jedi Order to what it should be, an order of balance, and not an army of the light. Anakin nodded, and Qui-Gon looked at Obi-Wan, proud of his apprentice, that he has fulfilled his promise he had left him. But he tells them, before they return to the galaxy, they must travel to the planet Maw, which is not on any star maps, but tells them the Force will guide their way. Together, Obi-Wan and Anakin embark on the mission, left by Qui-Gon.
Is that the planet Yoda went to with those, like, Force priestesses?
And they let the Force control their navigation system as they reach the planet Maw. Qui-Gon guides them towards a mystical spring on the planet, the Pool of Knowledge, and they can both feel the Force energy emanating from it. Qui-Gon explains how this pool is one of the most powerful Force conduits in the galaxy, and can grant those who bathe in it immense wisdom and foresight. It is said to provide visions of the past and future, and deep truths about the galaxy and Force. The Maw was heavily tied to the Mortis gods, the gods of the Force, and thus a similar power flowed through the planet. The Pool of Knowledge represents the light side's pursuit of wisdom, balance, and understanding, but can only be used properly by someone who has achieved balance, as Anakin has now. It can also only be used by someone who has the potential of a Mortis god, and thus Anakin bathes in the Pool of Knowledge, and he feels his enlightenment. The Force shows him the truth, and where his future path should take him. He only felt the Force like this once before, when he was on Mortis, and can feel his power increase. He emerges, with all of his 4 limbs regrowing, and has learned to understand the true essence.
What? All of his 4 limbs regrew? Even the arm that was cut off in Attack of the Clones? Wow. So his midichlorians that he lost have returned, I'm assuming.
Of the Force, and the power of a Mortis god. As he takes a couple of steps, and he stops in place, as a being appears in front of him. The person wasn't human, but made up of mist, and resembled a face in which he knew all too well.
The father.
The ghost of the father appeared in front of Anakin, telling Skywalker that he will embark on his journey to carry on the will of the Force and restore balance to the galaxy. Anakin nods, and finally his purpose is laid out in front of him. Together, Obi-Wan and Anakin travel back to Alderaan, and reunite with Padme, Luke and Leia.
Let's go.
Padme was extremely happy when she saw Anakin and Obi Wan, as this meant that Anakin had returned to the light side, and even better, all of his limbs had regrown.
Yeah.
She hugged him tight, as tears fell down both of their faces, as Anakin apologizes profusely for everything he had done.
Okay.
He takes Luke and Leia in his arms, their faces everything he had ever dreamed of, and he didn't know there could be this much joy in the universe. Later on, they met with Yoda and Ahsoka,
Oh, let's go.
who had joined them
Ahsoka.
on Alderaan, and they both could sense Anakin's power in the Force had risen exponentially. He apologized to both of them for his crimes, that he was foolish to open himself up to the darkness, but now he comes back, determined, and his resolve has never been stronger, to create a galaxy of balance
His resolve has never been stronger. Palpatine reference.
for his family. Obi-Wan filled them in on what had happened, and told them now, with Anakin, a master of the balance in the Force, it is only a matter of time before they restore the galaxy.
Okay.
Only 1 year had passed since the creation of the Empire, and they met in the command room on Alderaan and formulated a plan. Organa was slightly skeptical to attack the Empire now, but he didn't understand how having
Yeah, a year. You know, that's very early. Like, what kind of forces and, you know, they don't have stuff.
Anakin on their side with his new power essentially guaranteed their victory. They gather what forces they have acquired and launch an assault on Coruscant with whatever rebel forces they could garner to
Wow,
their cause.
clones?
Palpatine thought they were foolish for this, that there was no way the rebels could defeat the armada of Star Destroyers defending the planet.
Yeah.
But his opinion would soon be changed. Anakin stands with Yoda, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka on their capital ship and uses the Force to teleport.
Also, they're commanding the you know, the battles, and they're generals.
Their group inside the Senate building.
What?
After his time on the Maw,
Teleported them?
Anakin's power had grown exponentially to the level of a Mortis god, and with this, unlocked a whole new array of Force abilities
Wow.
that were previously unknown to him. Palpatine felt the Jedi instantly, and could feel the immense power of the
Palpatine, you're fucked.
light side arrive on the planet. He didn't know what to think. The power he sensed was unlike anything he had felt before. Stronger than Dooku, Yoda, Plagueis, who did not know what the source of this power could be. No being could wield this connection to the Force, and Palpatine knew he needed to escape, but he wouldn't have the opportunity. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda and Ahsoka burst into his room
Dude, he's
and
fucked.
circle the Emperor,
He's dead.
not giving him an opportunity to escape. Palpatine stares at Anakin, sensing that he is the source of this power, and it might be 3 or 4 times his own, and asks him how this is possible. Anakin tells Palpatine that he's embraced the true nature of the Force, not the false promises of power that the dark side offered. He tells Palpatine that he will pay for manipulating him and turning him against everyone he's always loved,
Wow.
and the price will be his life. Obi-Wan, Yoda and Ahsoka rush in to attack the Emperor.
No, Palpatine's dead.
Palpatine holds his ground initially, on the full defensive, but as soon as Anakin joins the battle, the tide turns, and the Emperor is defeated.
Yeah,
With this,
like,
Anakin had
obviously.
taken another step in completing his task as the Chosen One. The Sith were now defeated. He had to transform what remained of the Jedi Order into the Order of Balance that it once was. The Order of Ashla and Bogan that he saw when he was enlightened by the Pool of Knowledge.
Oh.
Together they took over the control station in his office and used this to send out an order to the clones defending the planet to stand down and let the
Oh, that's
rebel
also sad. The yeah, I forgot. It's only 1 year, so the clones are still defending the planet.
forces advance. Through this, the rebels took over the Imperial Senate and took all of Palpatine's loyalists and associates into custody, the ones that assisted in the formation of the Galactic Empire.
Good.
They held a Senate meeting, proclaiming the Emperor's defeat with the arrest of Palpatine's close circle, and this was met with applause and cheers
Let's
by the
go.
same people that cheered for Palpatine becoming the Emperor in the first place,
Yeah, because they realized that they cheered for... They were stupid, you know?
but slowly realized the mistakes they had made. Over the following weeks, the Empire was transformed back into the Republic, with the restoration of democracy in the Senate. The new Republic took over the control of the clone army, and a new constitution was set up to prevent what Palpatine did ever happening again. Meanwhile, Anakin and the rest of the Jedi restored the temple and sent out a new beacon around the galaxy to Force sensitives to proclaim that the Sith were defeated and the Jedi Order was being reborn. But before this could happen, Anakin, Obi-Wan and Yoda meet to discuss how their new Jedi Order must be different. Anakin explains that he saw the truth as he bathed in the Pool of Knowledge. that the Jedi are not meant to be warriors of the light,
Yeah.
but guardians of balance, and strive for balance between the light and dark sides of the Force to truly serve the people of the galaxy. Yoda agrees with the philosophy, as with the Jedi's defeat, he realizes his own arrogance. He trained Jedi how he was trained to be, but didn't take into account the changing galaxy.
Yeah.
Anakin says they will draw up an entire new order of principles, restructure training regimes, and through this, will train an entire new generation of Jedi that will protect the galaxy.
Wow.
Slowly, more surviving Jedi return to Coruscant, and in the meantime, they assist in the establishment of the New Republic around the galaxy. During this time, Anakin lived with Padme and their children, slowly adjusting to having 2 babies at home.
Okay.
Padme rejoined the Senate, ensuring that the New Republic would fight for peace in the galaxy. After a year's time, the New Republic had been completely established, with Mon Mothma as Chancellor,
Okay.
and the implementation of many reformations that undid the damage that the Empire did to the galaxy. Corruption had been stomped out of the Senate, partially due to their actions, but also the absence of the Sith. The Jedi Order had also been restored, now backed by the new principles that Anakin had bestowed upon them.
Okay.
He was Grand Master of the Order,
Oh, wow.
and with his council, Obi Wan, Yoda, Ahsoka, and other Jedi, as well as Force Ghost Qui-Gon Jinn, who sometimes joined them to embark his wisdom.
Oh, that's so cool.
They acted separate from the Senate, acting as the true guardians of peace and balance in the galaxy. Luke and Leia were some of the first younglings to join, and Anakin trained them himself, and they would represent the new generation of Jedi that would ensure the Republic stood until the end of time.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this video,
Wow.
your thoughts, what if Padme saved Anakin?
That was really good. That was really good. I gotta give this a 10 out of 10. I really liked this what if. It was very unique, as always. Great writing, great everything, man. I enjoyed it very much. 10 out of 10 for this what if. Well deserved. And yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what you guys would rate this what if out of 10. If you agree with my 10 out of 10 rating, or if you don't, and why.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this reaction, make sure to go subscribe to Fantasy Folklore for more awesome what if content. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. Remember, a new Star Wars what if reaction drops every single day. Join our Discord, links in the description. Also, if you want to support the channel and get exclusive perks, consider joining our Patreon. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video. Drop a comment with feedback, let me know which what if I should react to next. Anyway, thanks again for watching. This is The Way, and may the Force be with you. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Hey, you didn't watch it? Well, check out the video on the left side of the screen, which is specifically recommended for you, or check out the playlist on the right of the screen, which contains similar videos to this one, made by me, of course. Hey, remember, subscribe.